Trump has issued a presidential decree which lists Antifa officially as a terrorist organization inside the United States. And this is actually very significant. This is actually very important. Now, aside from the very obviousness that if you're against anti-fascism, then you're very clearly for fascism. So anybody who is a part of Antifa, an action group against fascism, they're automatically now labeled the same thing as Al-Qaeda or ISIS. I mean, I shouldn't have to explain how absolutely ridiculous that is. That's nonsense. So, in America, it's not illegal to be a white supremacist and call for the killings of people based on their skin color, but it's illegal to be against that. Oh, I want you to really think about that. And think about that the next time, some of these conspiracy theory people run around screaming that the far radical left are in control and they secretly run the government and America's a socialist country. Because, I mean, literally the country, the United States, the government is defending fascism. It literally is. I mean, I don't know how much more obvious this could be than criminalizing being a member of Antifa. Police keep getting outed as white supremacists, part of Aryan Brotherhoods and other fascist organizations, but it's not illegal to be part of them, but it's illegal to be against that. I mean, hopefully this should wake up some people who really believe that the radical left are actually in charge and they're the one exerting their influence over everything when the real power is actually against the radical left. I mean, there's really not much hope for people who think in this way at this point. But I also want to make another point. Take every U.S. soldier that served in World War II that fought against the Nazis. Are you now going to arrest them because they're anti-fascist? I'm judging by the fact that they went and literally fought Nazi Germany that they would be anti-fascist. I mean, literally fighting Hitler doesn't get any more anti-fascist. But are these people going to be exempt from being arrested as, Antifa? But I hear what you're saying. They're not members of Antifa. And here's the problem with that. It's next to impossible to objectively prove that anybody is or is not a member of Antifa. There's not like a member list. It's not like Al-Qaeda. It's not like ISIS, where someone is definitively a member or not. And that's kind of the danger here, is that the police are just going to take people that are activists without really any affiliation and just say they're a member of Antifa. So that's kind of a problem in and itself. So it's very much like the term terrorist. Remember when the legal definition of terrorism was first created during the Bush administration? Anybody who commits an illegal act for a social or political purpose, which means jaywalking in protest of traffic laws, would be considered terrorism. And how even today, the term terrorist is so vague that it can literally be applied to anything. And that's exactly what they're going to do again here with the label Antifa. They're just going to label anything they don't like as being a member of Antifa. And they can therefore arrest and charge anybody for terrorism for simply being against racial genocide. Here's another important point. So if you say something in favor of Antifa, you say there was a Nazi doing something and Antifa came in and shut the person down, are you now going to be charged with supporting terrorism because you supported Antifa taking that particular action? But think about that. You can't even make a positive statement about Antifa anymore because that would be considered supporting terrorism. This is the criminalization of dissent. You're literally not even allowed to disagree with many of the U.S. government policies. Well, except the policies that are shared by the two major parties. that's okay. You can go along with them, and they're okay. Pardon me. The differences between the two parties you're allowed to disagree with, but the things that both parties are absolutely guilty of are the things that you're not allowed to be against. So think about that. You can't even agree with Antifa. And if you disagree with the United States government, or you disagree with the fascist or white supremacist ideology, you're now guilty of terrorism. And that's the state of American politics right now. So all this claim that all these protesters, they're all from outside the state. Oh, it's all the radical left Antifa people who are responsible for these protests, because, of course, black people couldn't actually be mad at being killed in the street or suffering police repression or anything. I guess this was the last little bump that Trump needed to criminalize anti-fascism. So just keep this in mind when you're thinking about it. It's not illegal to be a fascist. It's not illegal to be a white supremacist. But it is illegal to be against those things. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.